Change up my pace with the speeches a little bit. Last time was a little dark, a little serious, trying to impart a lesson. Murder and rape is, always a dark subject. So someone made the comment of perhaps being a little more lighthearted for the next one. So this speech is going to be kind of an extension of my icebreakers and telling you a little bit more about myself and why I joined Toastmasters. So as a child growing up, I always had the worst problem with speaking in public situations to other people. Essentially, the gist of it was I mumbled. I used a lot of filler words. I think I set the record in Toastmasters, my first speech for like 55, something like that. Yes, setting records. And so that's why I come to Toastmasters today, sort of attack those problems. My mom had this saying every time I would start to mumble, she'd go, enunciate, stop me, and I'd start over again. It was a real hassle growing up with my mom. And so I decided to make a change. Sophomore year of high school, I took a public speaking class, and that was good. It was the first step, and I had a lot of good experiences there. We had a wide variety of people trying to learn public speaking, from a girl who gave speeches on ice skating to a emo guy with hair down to his knees who gave us a lesson on headbanging and hardcore, headbanging music. It was an interesting world. And so the next step that I took was joining the Forensics Club. And initially when I joined the Forensics Club, I had absolutely no clue that it was about public speaking. I thought it was a little more to do with CSI, so I was a little disappointed. But since I was already in a public speaking course, I thought this would be a really good step to take. And so I didn't really have any specialty in forensics. They had a kind of breakdown, much like Toastmasters, where you gave speeches on something dramatic, humorous, something along those lines, long speeches. My subject, since I really didn't have a specialty, was extemporaneous speaking. And extemporaneous speaking, the very gist of it is you've got 30 minutes, a stack of newspapers or magazines, and 3 topics, and you've got 30 minutes to prepare a 5-minute speech. And it was a little overwhelming at first, I have to admit, being able to go through the magazines and convey sometimes a complex political thought in common vernacular was something that it took me a little while to get the hang of. When I first started going to competitions, it was a little strange speaking in front of people. I was that guy who would get up there and grasp the podium and try and break it and never look down or never look up at the audience. Eventually, I sort of moved away from that, and I started winning some prizes. I got pretty good at extemporaneous speaking, preparing or for giving a speech without a whole lot of preparation. And such to the point that at one time I gave a speech that I had absolutely no clue what I was talking about. I couldn't find a single article on the topic. The question, I think, was, what is so-and-so's legacy going to be in the Iraq War? And I was lost. I spoke for 2 minutes on the topics of leaving legacies and how important it was. And the judges were fixated. And eventually I just stopped, and I looked at them, and I was like, I didn't find anything for this, and I have nothing more to say. And they looked at me, and they're like, that was a pretty good speech for having nothing to say. And so I had a couple of setbacks with that. But eventually I made it to the state competition, and it was there's several thousand people there. I don't know how I qualified for it. It's been a long time, so I can't remember. I must have been good at something. And much to my surprise, I eventually took 6th, and I haven't been doing public speaking ever since then. I came to the Citadel, and you get a little experience talking to knobs or front of upperclassmen, and this year I've done a lot of public speaking in front of the honor court, giving presentations there. And so that's where I've used this skill. And the reason I bring that up today in public speaking or in Toastmasters is because this speech has been entirely extemporaneous with very little preparation. So I hope that I provided something for you all to listen to. Thank you.